How's it going, everyone? And welcome back to Continues to Tick. Yo, so it's like 5:35 a.m. and last night I went to bed and we had actually crossed 500 subscribers. But, people can unsubscribe, so I was like, let me wait a little bit. I want it to be a little bit more official. We're at 501. Man, that's awesome. I started this channel on August 25 of 2020, so within a year we crossed the 500 subscribers mark. And honestly, I didn't have any expectations when I started this, and to see that here we are crossing that milestone, because there's been a couple first big milestones: 10 subscribers, 50, 100, 200, 150 even, and here we are at 500. So thank you so much. Hopefully you enjoy it, because I know I definitely do. And for those that are curious, at one point I decided to start this channel from scratch, because before I had another channel. It was called Judge Jesse, and that one actually had 1.5k subscribers. And I think if you look it up right now, it'll show you I had 1.5k. But I've always been interested in time, and unfortunately because of my job currently I don't show my face too much, but hopefully eventually that will evolve, and maybe as this gets bigger I'll incorporate my face more, just to make it more personal. And don't mind my voice here, it's like 5:30 a.m. so I'm slowly waking up. But I made that decision to start from scratch, and it's been a long journey, but it's been fun, and I've honestly really enjoyed it. So I just want to say thank you so much, and maybe from time to time, maybe a little bit more often, I'll start showing my face, but just to make it more personal. But this is me. These are some plants in the background. So I am a human being on this channel. I am a person. So I'm Jesse, and this just continues to tick, and hopefully it will continue to tick. The YouTube channel, the dividend portfolio, me in this life on this earth. So thank you so much. That's all. I just wanted to say that. Thank you. It's been fun. I'm really looking forward to getting to 1,000, but let's break it down, step by step. We're at 500, let's get to 600. Or ultimately, let me just first get out this next video out on Monday, right? Let's be systematic about it, like the dividend portfolio. So until then, I'll see you guys on next week's video. I'll probably add this in there. I'll probably make a short out of this. So, oh yeah, I got a septum. No, I don't. Go to work. I'll see you guys then. This is just fun. Peace. So what keeps you investing? Especially into dividends? It's a question I often ask myself, especially given that investing can be a rather systematic process that doesn't bear many fruit, at least initially. And I'm sure you can gather great generic reasons, such as it's what I was told to do, it's what we're supposed to do when we begin to make money. But eventually you may also be able to recognize that it's an avenue, a vehicle, to build long-term wealth, a financially stable future. But I guess that's my overall point. Investing, although it may be done on the short term, most successful at it will eventually invest with the idea in mind that it's going to be a long process, and in a sense done primarily for our future self. In a way, we do it today to not have to think or worry of this later. And by doing so, we'll ultimately be in a position to thank ourselves later on as well, in this game of life.
when eventually we get to this older age. And sure, older age isn't promised, but the idea is that time passes regardless. That's a certain guarantee. And with this, we will eventually slowly age over time, becoming senior also, just as those we have seen before us. I'm sure most of us won't want to work forever, or feel the need to play catch-up later with our finances, especially when the time arrives, where we'd normally be a handful of years away from retirement, or supposed to be. Thus, I bring up the question, what keeps you investing? This question reminds me to stay focused and motivated. It keeps me grounded and realistic, but it always challenges me, as the reward is slow. The reward, and particularly for me, as for many of us, is to eventually buy back our time. With that being retirement, specifically an early retirement, or simply just the option to not have to work out of need, but rather by desire or want. We got to remind ourselves why we do this for, as it's a long process and certainly won't end anytime soon, at least for me, at my current age of 25. But with time on my side and a vision, I do hope to bypass as much of the heavy lifting at an earlier age as I can. Thus, when I get older, it's one less thing to worry about, and time to truly relax in my golden years, eating the fruits of my labor, if you will. The process to this end goal has started for some time now for me, and as far as I'm aware, it ends with me as well. Hopefully sooner rather than later, I can hope. But also with that, I have the awareness to plan. But before we make our way into closing out this week's video, how about you consider subscribing to this channel and liking the video? I mean, we did recently cross the 500 subs mark, which is pretty neat. And I mean, you're already here, but again, if not for me, how about for this picture of this smiling beluga whale? And making our way further through this video still, after making it through this last week's performance, here we are this week in the Jesse's cash flow portfolio, currently sitting at $33,250. This is on the all-time charts, with a current overall return for the portfolio of 36.97%. This equates to a total gain for the portfolio of $5,000 or $5,065. But here we are, having officially crossed the gain mark of $5,000. This is the first time we've actually crossed that particular mark. And although, there's a lot of progress to be made on this portfolio, that's a neat little milestone on its own to cross. And of this total portfolio gain, 488 is from earned dividends, and $4,577 is from market gain alone. And as I was saying about the last week's performance, here we are with an overall return of 0.87%, which for the most part doesn't seem like that much of a percentage return. But in actuality, considering the portfolio size, this was a portfolio gain of $284. And for the most part, if you look down here below, it was from market gain alone, primarily, as $283 was from market gain, and only $1.41 was from earned dividends. And out of curiosity, just to take a look at last week's performance, we had a couple red sectors here. Consumer staples was one, industrials was one, my McDonald's, consumer discretionary was one. But if we take a deeper look here, the greenest of the sectors was actually financials at 2.91%, and second best is actually utilities here at 2.67%. My tech sector did pretty good at 1.61%, but financials and utilities were the biggest players this last week in my dividend portfolio. And just as a reminder, if you're curious to seeing what it is that I'm holding, there's going to be a link down below where I'll be sharing my pie. You just click on that and you can see everything that I'm holding. You can kind of break down and look into my sectors here. You can click on my tech, for example, and you can see that I'm holding Nvidia, Apple, Visa, Oracle, IBM, and Cisco. And you can see what percentages I have amongst these holdings in my tech sector. So go ahead and check out that link down below in the description box to sharing the pie if you're curious. And now making our way into the activity section for this last week. It was a relatively exciting week, I would say, overall, compared to last week, which the snowball was rather uneventful as we didn't have one. Here we are on August 2nd, starting with ABM Industries, getting paid $1.46. Next up, getting paid from AT&T, which is still holding on to their dividend for now, their higher dividend payout. That will change eventually, considering the merger. But it gave me a dividend payout of $7.29. So I'm going to keep taking that in for as long as I can. It'll be missed when it's gone. Or decreased, I guess I should say. It won't be completely gone. And then here we are with JP Morgan Chase, getting paid $4.05. And also on August 2nd, getting paid from Verizon, $4.53. And here we are on August 4th, just like we always do. It's our financial strategy in this Jesse's Cash Flow portfolio, investing $500 every single week. And here we are with the $23.79 snowball this week, which is a pretty good snowball, considering that last week we had none at all. So $23 is actually quite a bit. And I believe the one before that was also $20. So really neat to see that our snowballs, for the most part, are actually growing bigger and bigger in size. And the best thing about that, which I say from time to time, is that you start investing with money that isn't yours to begin with. And here we are on August 6th, getting paid our last dividend payout of $2.26. So that's going to be it for this week's video. And I just want to wrap up by saying it's been a fun journey. This YouTube channel, the dividend growth portfolio, we've been systematic with both of those things thus far. And I have no complaints to this point. And just like when I started, even from right now, I have no idea exactly where this is going to go from here. But the only thing I can control is my ability to upload, my ability to keep investing into this dividend portfolio, just seeing with time exactly where they'll end up. Although I can kind of imagine where they both will. It's not certain, but I am excited and I am looking forward to it. And just like I say, we've made it through 7 days. We can make it through another 7 days. So I'm excited to see you guys next week, as always. And as always, until then, take care. Peace.